to form around a curved shape as well. So I went around with the new mold and just bordered the top and the bottom of my vase. And so now the first thing I'm going to do is add a layer of texture. And to do that, I'm going to be using the Art Alchemy paints. This is the Impasto line. These are heavy body acrylic paints, so these are great for building texture. So this color is linen and this color is Snow White. So I'm just going to, this is just my first layer, so just keep that in mind. So it's not going to look perfect this time around. I'm just doing a texture layered first, and then I'm going to do a dry brush over top. So that's why I'm using the Impasto paint, because it has lots of texture. And I lost my brushes, just kidding, found them. Okay, so see the paint, see how thick it is? Like I'm moving my plate and it barely moves. That's how thick this paint is. So great for building texture. Okay, so there's no right or wrong way I'm doing this. I'm kind of just mixing the colors together. And then I'm just going to dabble them on like this. I'm going to go all the way around my vase like this, just to build up a bottom layer of texture, as you can see there. So I'm going to go around and do that. If you guys have any questions as I'm going through things, let me know. If I miss anything, I'll get to it after the live. Again, I'm Hannah with Hanna Banana Creations. I'm kind of newer on the team here. I'm located in Fairfield, Iowa, and I've been doing upcycles and furniture transformations for about 5 years now. So yeah, it's been a wild ride. I used to have a shop location here in my hometown, but I decided to close that and focus more on video content. So it's really taken off this past year. So if you're a follower, I highly appreciate it. All right, see how I'm just building up that texture? And this also helps blend in the mold as well to make them look like they've always been there, not just like plastered on there. And another good way to build texture is to use a chip brush. And that's like the cheapest brush that you can buy. It's a natural hair brush, so it has some uneven bristles, which gives you that texture. Do not recommend it for like a top coat or anything, unless you want a texture top coat. That's all you. I'm really excited to use this mold on some picture frames and do like that boho beaded look around the border. I think that would be really, really cool. All right, we're adding texture. And again, I'm using the Impasto paints in the color Linen and Snow White. You can also find these on the Prima website. So basically my goal right now is creating like a faux textured stone look as my base layer. That's kind of what I'm going for right now. What do you guys think about the new release with Annie Sloan? It's pretty exciting, huh? They really are perfect designs for spring. I'm excited to use the mold a little bit more. All right, so I'm just gonna try to give you guys a little comparison to the texture I'm building up compared to what the vase looked like before, because it probably does look pretty similarly colored from a distance, and it is kind of similarly colored, but I want to build texture and also get a little variation in color with the linen and the white, because they are different shades. That texture, I know, I've become a big fan of all the texture lately. which a lot of artists are feeling the same way because texture it's been really trendy the past year or two. So guess we're on point, huh? Did you guys catch any of the other lives today? I'm gonna have to go back and watch them later. I was a little busy this afternoon, so didn't get quite around to see them live, but I'm definitely gonna go watch the replays. You know, these lives are full of good little nuggets of information too. Even if you don't watch them while they're live, you can always go back and watch the replay. I always try to give good tips and tricks in my lives, so you guys can do your own fun projects. All right, we're almost all the way around the vase here. When you're working on rounded objects like this, if you have a Lazy Susan, that will make your life a lot easier, but right before I went live, I realized mine broke. Probably when we moved. So, oh well, I'll just thrift another one. Alrighty, almost done with this layer here. Okay, now I'm just going to go back around and just add a little bit more. Blend it in a little bit. You could also add in a little bit of dark colors to get a little bit more depth if you were just leaving it with this stone look and not doing a dry brush over it like I am going to be doing here in a minute. All right, do you guys have any questions yet? If I've missed any, I'm sorry. I'll go back, I promise. Just trying to make sure I got everything covered here. Okay, I think we're good. I'm gonna give it one last little dab of paint here, and then we're gonna move on. I'm gonna have to get my heat gun out and dry this up a little bit. Oops, there's a piece of stray resin there. All right, where's everyone? I'm watching from New Jersey, another from British Columbia. Welcome, guys. my transfers and use them on smaller projects. A lot of the time. Okay, please, yes. So here's the tube. This has our textured layer on it, and give you another quick close-up of that. So we did a combination of the white and the linen and going for an aged look. Go on with the cottage vibes of the getting an aged effect or a worn look is just by adding multiple layers. Just adding different okay. So there's the textured cool down. Okay, so next, I'm going to be moving on to the trans. It's a good one. I love the like hand. Drawn effect of it. All right, so when I get impatient on my live sometimes, and I'm just ready to move on to the next step, but okay. Let's see. The bottom border part of this transfer. And I'll definitely use this part for another project like this. This is a cute background for, you know, something neat. And I'm just going to rub my transfer. On. Letting it cure for a while. And if I have time, I'm going to add some waxes too. So I'm hoping we have time for that. What color do you think we should put on the molds here? I was thinking gold, like usual. Oh no, that's okay. We messed up that side. We'll fix it. Oh my goodness. This one part just does not want to stick. There we go. Sometimes it takes a little more love. If you guys have any questions, let me know. This is going to be a really cute piece for spring. It's given me some difficulties in some spots though. This is what happens when you try to rush through your projects. Okay. Applying the transfer. Now, when you apply the transfer, you definitely want to be patient, because if you get ahead of yourself, you can definitely mess up, like I am right now. But that's okay. I'm gonna have to go back and fix some spots afterwards, because some spots weren't completely dry. I did the thing that I was warning you guys not to do, so don't do that. Make sure it's dry. Sometimes on textured pieces, these transfers take a little bit longer, but they still go over textured surfaces, so that's exciting. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go from this end now, because there's a spot over there that's causing me some issues. So probably going to have to go back and fix some things. You know, DIY, if a lot of people are afraid to even just get started with DIY because they are like, what if I mess up? You're going to mess up. I still mess up. Like, it's inevitable. It's part of the process. It's part of learning. So don't be afraid to mess up. Okay, hopefully that's better. Okay, if sometimes getting the edge up on the plastic sheet can be a little tricky, so I like to use an X-Acto knife to kind of lift up the corner. There we go. That part's coming off nicely. So I did have an area over here that wasn't all the way dry, and I'll show you what happens when it's not all the way dry. Definitely something you want to try to avoid, but mistakes happen, so we're just going to go back and fix it. I might not do that live, I might do it later, but and we're going around the face, especially with like the little intricate parts, like right here. You really want to make sure you have those adhered well. The smaller details can be a little bit trickier to get adhered correctly, so just give it some extra love. Okay. What flowers should I put in this when I have it all done and staged up? I was thinking some like white peonies would look really pretty in this. Or white roses even. Ooh, daisies. You can tell I'm definitely leaning towards white flowers for this piece, for the display. Okay, we're almost done applying this part. Okay, I definitely had a part over here that wasn't dry, so my transfer probably isn't going to come up correctly. But that's okay, we'll make it work. Okay, so that part right there wasn't all the way dry, but that's okay, I'll go back and fix that later. But here is the first part of that transfer so far, and so I'm going to go through and line up this part now. Okay, so where is my pink flower? My pink flower is there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just overlap it a little bit to get it to blend in. And then when we come over here, it should line up. At least I'm hoping it'll line up if I did everything correctly. So I want to cut off these edge pieces here. And then, let's see, line that up there. I might have to go back through and add a little bit, some little pieces of the purple flower. All right, so now I'm gonna line up this part. I might have to go back in with an artist brush afterwards and kind of fine tune some things. Oh, there we go, that lines up pretty good. Okay. So there we go. There's the other part of the transfer. It lined up pretty good, actually. And now we're gonna hope that everything on this side of the vase was dry. All right, trying to use my X-Acto knife to get an edge up. All right, I think everything over here is dry, so we're good so far. Okay. Like I said, these smaller areas can be a little tricky, so just sometimes if you use your fingers, that helps as well. Because like the heat from your finger can help release the transfer a little bit. Okay. We're doing good so far, doing good. No mishaps like the other side. That's okay. When people ask how you get so good at DIY, just say it's because you're really good at fixing your mistakes. That's what I tell people. Okay. Looking good so far. I'm liking it. What's really gonna set off the details in the molds is the waxes I'm gonna be adding a little bit later. I think I'm gonna have to do that off of the live because the paint isn't all the way dry yet and it's giving me some issues with my transfer. But I will definitely post a picture when I have the whole thing completed. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I might have missed several and I apologize. Again, these are the new Annie Sloan items from the newest release, the Swedish Posy. Okay, almost done here. Okay, I'm getting antsy, I'm ready for this transfer to be adhered. Sorry if I'm being a little quiet right now, I'm just trying to focus. There's some undried paint on this area that's giving me some problems. Okay. Whew. Pro tip of the day, always make sure your paint is 100% dry. Okay, There we go. Look how cute that is. Oh my goodness, I love it. I'm gonna have to fix that spot, so ignore that spot, but yeah. And the mold at the top, love it. So I'm gonna go back through and I'm gonna do some touch-ups on this and get it really jazzed up with some waxes and all that. So that'll conclude my live for today, and I need that to dry a little bit before I move on. But again, these are the new Annie Sloan products, Swedish Posy line. Today I used the mold and the transfer, and I will post the completed project later today. So, okay guys, thanks so much for watching. Sorry I messed up a little bit of it, but hey, that's what happens. That's how you learn. So be sure to stick around for the other lives that are coming up, and I will see you guys soon. Okay, bye.